Yo, what is up guys? It is Rans12345 and I'm back for another YouTube video. And this guys is my Premier League prediction video for the 2020/2021 season. Now I've taken into account of Everton on where they finished last season, obviously the three teams in the Championship who do very well, and obviously the teams who are currently in the Premier League last season. So this took a while to think about because I don't want to make any stupid mistakes. Some of these you've be some stupid mistakes. By the time we get to the end of the season, I'll do a recap and see where I did well on and where I failed on. Because I know there's probably going to be some fails by the end of the season, but hey. But here's what we have at number 20. And in it at number 20, we have is Aston Villa. Aston Villa, I think they had an average season. They nearly got themselves relegated. The only reason they didn't get relegated is because they got a draw and Watford lost to Arsenal. If Watford won, they would be relegated right now. And they would be in the Championship. And I'm pretty sure Jack Grealish would be gone by now. But I think Aston Villa, they got nowhere to hide now. They need to improve and they need to build on their squad. And I think Jack Grealish won't be with you this season. I think in the transfer window, he probably will go either to Man United or a bigger club like that. And if he's not gone by, the summer window, then I think he'll be gone by January. See, I don't think he'll be with you by the end of the season. He wants to make that big move. He wants to make that step up. So I think he'll be a big loss for you. No matter what transfer window he leaves, I think he will leave you. And I think Dean Smith is just not the man. I really don't think he's I think he should have been sacked. He should have gotten a better manager. And yeah, I just don't think Aston Villa are going to survive in the Premier League, and I think they're going to go back down to the Championship. So, sorry Aston Villa fans, but I have you at number 20. And in at number 19, we have is West Brom. Why have I picked West Brom? It's simple. The biggest yo-yo club in the Premier League. That's the truth, and that is the reason why I picked them. They're constantly yo-yoing back from the Premier League to the Championship, and then back to the Premier League and to the Championship, and it's constantly a reduced cycle. I don't really like West Brom. They're fucking boring. They're not really a team you like to watch, but they get shit done, and that's something you have to admire about West Brom. They get shit done, and that's something you admire. Like, yes, they got some few good players there. You also got Slaven Bilic, former West Ham manager, who's done incredibly well in the Championship, managed to get them promoted, but I just don't see them surviving. I honestly don't. I think they're going back down this season, and I think nobody's going to miss you, West Brom. You probably go down to the Championship, you probably will come back up again and eventually back down again. I think it's just a constant cycle of things. But West Brom fans, prove me wrong. Prove to me that West Brom can get promoted and can stay up and not go back down. Because that's what I want to see. I want to see West Brom stay up in the Premier League, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think you're going to be going back down to the Championship, I'm afraid. So yeah, I have you at 19th. And in at 18th, now this is going to be a bit of like, what the fuck are you doing, Dan? This is like the Leicester situation from my last picture video, and I have is Sheffield United. Now you're probably wondering, why Sheffield United? They finished 9th. They have Billy Sharp. They had Dean Henderson last season. They had such a great back line. They have Rafa Morrison. They had Leo Mousset. Like, why would you want to think they would go down? Now, here's the thing. You got to think about all these teams that have had good seasons in the Premier League in their first season. I think second season syndrome will kick in. I think Sheffield will go down. But I don't think it will be like, there'll be a massive points merging from West Brom and Aston Villa. I think that West Brom and Aston Villa will go down. I think they will be quite close to getting points, but Sheffield, I think they're going to be quite close with the team I have at 17th, and it's going to be either one of these two. I think I'm going to go down. I hope it's the team I have at 17th, which I'll get to in a minute, but I think Sheffield I don't know, I just got a funny feeling they go down, and I think it'll be gutting to see, Chris Wilder and his men go down. I think Dean Henderson, I don't think he's obviously going to come back to Sheffield, so I think that's going to be a big loss for them. You're trying to bring in Aaron Ramsdale, which I think he'll be a good sign for you, but I don't think he'll be enough to improve on Dean Henderson. So Yeah, I think I have Sheffield United at 18th. And in at 17, we have is Brighton. The team I think will challenge Sheffield for that, last relegation spot. And I think, yeah, they didn't have an amazing season. And I think Graham Potter is a great manager. I think he's a top manager. I just don't think with Brighton he's going to be there for a while. I don't think he's going to be there as like a Sean Dyche long-term manager. I think he's going to be there short-term until he gets another big move. And I think Brighton, I think will be his final way. And I hope they do stay up. But to be honest, it's going to be tricky to call between the two of them. But I think they'll just about survive, in my personal opinion. I think they're just about to survive in the Premier League. So, yeah, Brighton have you at 17th. In at 16th, we have is Fulham. Now, Fulham, I think they will be surviving the season. Now, everyone predicted they'll survive the season they came up, and obviously we realised that massively backfired. All their players were just shit. They didn't have that core squad from the Championship that got them promoted, and obviously they went back down again. But this season, I think they're going to keep their core Championship team. I think they're going to make a few good signings just to strengthen the team. And they've got Scott Parker, who I think is going to be a world-class manager. I don't think he's going to be like a Sedan level manager, but I think he will be a good Championship manager, a mid-table Premier League manager. I think that's going to be kind of his level. I think he will do well for them this season. So I think Fulham are going to stay up and finish 16th. In at 15th, I have is Leeds United. Now, Leeds United, could easily finish a lot higher with Bielsa. They could do a Sheffield United. They could easily, blow us out of the park and show us, they're not a team to be laying down on. But I think with Leeds, it's going to be tricky. It's their first thing back in the Premier League. They've got a good core squad. They still got their squad from the Championship, and they're trying to make a couple of signings. I think they made a couple of signings already, so that looks pretty good. A few youngsters, they're going to try and bring back in Ben White, so I hope they do that. And I think if he does, I think they'll easily be staying up. Hope they link with One Voy from Spurs, so I think that'd be a good sign for them if they can get that over the line. They're trying to sign a new striker as well. So Leeds are doing bits in the transfer window, but I don't think they'll do enough to impress us. I think they will stay up, but I don't think there'll be any relegation zone, but I think they won't do enough to impress us and get into the top 10. So, yeah, I have Leeds at 15th. In at 14th, we have is Crystal Palace. Now, Crystal Palace is quite a tricky one to call. I mean, I think it's the same for every single prediction video. If Zaha leaves, then they could get relegated. But if he stays, then they could easily stay up. And I think with Zaha, he should be going. Like, let's be honest, he's too good for Crystal Palace. He doesn't deserve to be anywhere near a mid-table team. He should have to be playing in a top 6 league, in a top 5 league, or a top 16 in the Premier League. Let's be honest. And I hope he does leave, but I don't think it'll go through. Obviously, Palace will want loads of money for him. And I don't think anyone's going to pay a ridiculous amount of buckets of cash for him. So I think he'll stay for one more season. Maybe he might, have a falling out with Royhausen. Maybe maybe he won't be playing as much. Maybe he'll just be coming off the bench, or maybe he'll have to train with under 23s. Maybe, who knows? Might have an actual problem there. So maybe he won't be off the book by January. But I think Crystal Palace will finish 14th. In at 13th, we have is Burnley. Well, what can I say about Burnley? It's Burnley. Sean Dyche's men. They're good at grafting mid-table, victories, I guess you could say. They're good at, keeping the team in the Premier League. And I don't think Sean Dyche is going to fail this season. I think he's going to do quite a good role with Burnley. And I think he's going to be able to keep them up. And I think there's nothing really bad you can say about Burnley. They're just a team that gets the job done. Same with West Brom. They're a team that just gets the job done and picks up 3 points or a draw. In at 12 we have is Newcastle United. Now Newcastle could easily go down. This point, they could easily go down with Steve Bruce. But I have to disagree. I think they will make some good signings. I think they will make some loans. I think there will be some signs that will change the team. So I think Joe Linton will start banging in goals. I hope he does because they signed for 40 million, so he should be banging the goals. But I think he'll start getting used to the Premier League now. It's his first season. I don't think people should be writing him off already. I think hopefully he'll start banging goals in. I think Maximin Otley is probably their best player, so I think he'll bag in quite a few assists. I just feel like that Newcastle team will now start coming into place. Obviously, you've got the Longstaff brothers, who I think are just the next top talents in European football. Shelby's is just a great player all around. They've got a good core players there, so I think Newcastle will finish 12th. In at 11th, we have is Southampton. Ralph Hasenhutl's men, it's Southampton. They've got a good squad. They recently just signed Carl Walker-Peters for 30 million. Not 30, 13. I don't know if I said that wrong, but I'm pretty sure I did say 13. Obviously with Højbjerg going the other way to Spurs, which I think they both got a good deal out of both clubs. I think Southampton, they didn't have a great season, let's be honest. Obviously they lost, they had 9 goals get banged past them. And then since then, they really recovered. And I think we're starting to see back the old Southampton of the old days, when they were finishing between 8th to 10th to 12th. I think that's the sort of Southampton that's now starting to come back. And I think Ralph Hasenhüttl, I think they could easily challenge get into the top 10, hopefully. Who knows? But I just seen them get 11th. So I don't think they'll be in the top 10, but they'll definitely be getting close. So yeah, Southampton in 11th. In at 10th, we have is West Ham. Now, West Ham, they could easily do what they did last season, bottle it and nearly get relegated, or even get relegated. But West Ham really need to kick on. David Moyes, he knows how to build a good team. That's something you can't deny. He knows how to build a good team. It's just if you give him the finances and you give him the budget, he'll bring in players that will fight in the Premier League. And with Thomas Tuchel, who apparently was rumored to coming in permanently to West Ham, I think will be the next. He's pretty much his Fellaini. They've got a good core of players there. You've got Declan Rice, who may be off this season. Who knows? But if he does stay, and I think if they do keep the players they have, I think Felipe Anderson will be hopefully kicking on again, being the old Felipe Anderson when he came in, and Davidson just smashing it. And I think Sebastian Haller will, hopefully start banging goals. So I think West Ham have got a good core players, and I think with David Moyes, if he can just pick up those few more players, I think they should be challenging in the top 10. But yeah, West Ham in 10th. In at 9th, we have is Leicester City. Now, you're probably thinking Leicester, this is quite a low spot for them. Why Leicester? Well, here's the thing with Leicester. They got Europa League football, and I think it's going to be a massive damper on the season. We saw what it did in the Championship. Not in the Championship, the Champions League, sorry. I don't know why I said Championship. The Champions League, it sort of dampened their season a bit. They didn't finish that high, but then again, they didn't finish that low. So it was like an average season. I think this would be the same thing. I think with European football, it's going to sort of harm their season rather than make a positive on their season. I don't think Leicester will go far in Europa League. I think maybe round of 32, maybe round of 16. Hell, they could even go out of the group stage, but I think they will get out of the group at least. I think round of 32, round of 16, that's when they'll both go out. If they get to the quarterfinals or anything above that, then I'm going to be so impressed. But I think over Leicester at 9th this season, I think they'll do okay in the Europa League. In at 8th, we have is Wolves. They just know. I think they've got a great squad. They've got a Jota, they've got João Moutinho, Ruben Neves, Jimenez, who could be off the season to Man United, which I don't think will happen. It's just not happening. They've got Adama Traore, they've got Doherty, who's a great, versatile player. He's a good right back as well, who I feel like a top team should be picking them up. We've got Will Patricio in goal, who's a solid Portuguese international. So, they've got a great squad, and I think with a few more signings, I think we'll be challenging into Europa League spots. But I think they just won't have enough to beat the team in 7th, because I think the team in 7th will do a lot better. And here's who I have in 7th. In at 7th we have is Everton. Now you're probably thinking, Everton, really? Well, here's the thing. They got Carlo Ancelotti, probably one of the greatest Italian managers in history. Let's be honest, he is such a great manager. He's up there with the elite. And if people say no, he's not, then, or he's past his prime, he's past his sell-by date, then you're clearly just stupid. Because this guy knows how to win trophies, and he knows how to build a great team. And yes, he's at Everton, but they got money. They got loads of money, and I'm pretty sure they're going to get Carlo Ancelotti a massive war chest, and they're going to buy on whoever they want, because it's Everton. They're going to try and do everything to get into that Europa League football. Hell, maybe in the Champions League, they're going to try and challenge for that as well. So, yeah, I think I've got Everton at 7th this season. In at 6th is Man United. Yeah, Man United. You're probably wondering, really? We finished 3rd last season, Wans, sorry. Man United fans right now probably say, oh, but we finished 3rd. We did really well. No, you got lucky. The only reason you finished 3rd because Leicester slipped up and Chelsea, managed to pick up more points. If it wasn't for Leicester slipping up, if they kept on winning, you'd be finishing 5th or 6th. That's the truth. You wouldn't be in the Champions League spot. If you treat this like a trophy, then you're really deluded if you really think that. I don't think Man United are going to be back in there. They got really lucky last season being in the Champions League spot. With Leicester slipping up quite a lot, since the restart. But I think with Man United, I think Solskjaer will go. That's guaranteed. You're going to hound him out of the club saying, Solskjaer, get the fuck out of our club. Glazers, get the fuck out of our club. We want to rebuild, we want to refresh. And I think Solskjaer is going to try and do whatever he can to try and avoid being sacked. But I think the inevitable is coming. I don't want to be sacked because I feel like he needs to stay for the rebuilding process. And if you're going to sack him during a rebuild process, then I don't know, man. You're really fucked. If you're going to sack him this season, and I hope you don't, because it's a massive rebuild season, you need to keep him around for the next 2 or 3 years. But yeah, I just see him Solskjaer being sacked and then finishing 6th. So sorry, my Man United fans, but I think that's the truth. In at 5th we have is Chelsea. Now Chelsea, here's the thing with Chelsea, it's very hard to call them. They can easily do really well. Obviously they're trying to bring people like Havertz, they brought in Timo Werner, Ziyech, they're trying to improve their attack, and obviously they're trying to bring a new goalkeeper, and you're saying, well, why can they not, get back in Champions League? Why can they not win the Premier League? Well, here's the thing, I think with Lampard, it's just going to be a massive challenge for him now, because he's really got to prove himself for the fans, and I think last season it was a great season. He came in during the transfer ban, they got lifted in January. So he's trying to bring in the new players. I don't think all of them will click like most teams do. I think with Timo Werner, it'll take a while for him to kick in. I think he'll be another Fernando Torres, another Morata. I think he'll be another one of those players who it won't kick on for him. And obviously, I think you Chelsea fans will say, get the fuck out of our club. You're a shit cunt. You're not scoring for blah, blah, blah. And I think with Timo Werner, it's going to take away from him to take a while for him to click in to the Chelsea style and formality. So I think Chelsea will get 5th, and I think Lampard could possibly get sacked, but I think he'll win a Carabao Cup or a FA Cup, so which will reasonably keep him on the season. So yeah, I think I have Chelsea in 5th. In at 4th, of course, it is Arsenal. Arsenal 4th, it's sort of a tradition with them, They love finishing fourth. It's like a trophy for them. Every time, if they ever lifted, if it gets fourth to what, they always should get a trophy just for lifting it. How many times they hit it. But Arsenal, here's the thing. Arteta is doing quite a good job at Arsenal. I'm not going to deny that. As a Spurs fan, I don't like them doing well. But I think with Arsenal, they got something good there. Arteta, it looks to be a good manager for the future. I think if he just brings in a couple more signings, obviously they recently brought in Willian, trying to bring in that Gabriel guy from Lille. I think if they can make a few more signings just here and there, just to improve the squad, why can you not say they get back in the Champions League? I think it's certainly possible. So yeah, I think Arsenal will get back into the Champions League and we'll finish fourth. In at third, we have is my team, Tottenham Hotspur. People could say, oh, why can we not challenge for the league? Why can we not challenge for the league? Here's why. I think City are going to improve their squad. Let's be honest, they're going to buy fuck tons of players. They've recently brought in Nathan Ake. I think they're going to try and bring in another backup goalkeeper. I think they're going to, buy more players and improve that squad. They also brought in Ferran Torres from Finland, I believe. And I think with Tottenham, we obviously bring in players as well. We're trying to buy a new right back. We recently brought in Joe Hart and Højbjerg. But I don't think this season is going to be us winning the Premier League. I don't see it. Hopefully, maybe an FA Cup or Carabao Cup or maybe the Europa League, but definitely not the Premier League. Definitely not yet. Not under Mourinho yet. I don't think we're finished with the new team. He's only just started building this team. I don't think we're at that point yet of winning the Premier League, but I think we will win a big trophy, but I think an FA Cup, a Carabao Cup, or Europa League could be nice to have. So yeah, Tottenham at third. In at second, I have is Liverpool. Sorry, Liverpool fans. You can't honestly expect that Man City won't go and improve their squad, buy 50 million plus players and try and win back their Premier League title. If you Liverpool fans really think you're going to be regaining the Premier League title this season, then you clearly haven't seen who Man City are. Man City have got a billionaire investor. Now, yes, obviously you got a great owner as well who you brought in good players. You got Jurgen Klopp, probably one of the greatest minds in football, probably one of the greatest managers in football. But Pep Guardiola, I think he's just that tab better, and I think he's going to do whatever he can to win the Champions League, the Premier League, the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup. He's going to try and win it all this season. And I think with Liverpool, I think the dream is now over. I think win the Premier League, you're going to be very hangover from that, and you're going to keep pushing all the way. I know you will. Liverpool will be pushing all the way to win the Premier League. But I don't think I don't think you'll win back-to-back trophies. I don't think it'll happen. I don't think that's a possibility. I think you will, maybe win a Carabao Cup and an FA Cup. Hell, maybe you might even challenge for the Champions League again. Maybe you might win that. But yeah, no, I don't see Liverpool challenging for the Premier League again. I think that last season was a great season for them winning the Premier League, but yeah, I don't see Liverpool winning again. I think you're going to have to wait another, God knows how many years to win another one. But, also last season was great for you, but this season, I don't think you're going to win a Premier League. No. Sorry, Liverpool fans, but I think that's the reality. I don't think you're going to be retaining your title. And in at first, of course, we have Man City. I mean, it's Man City. What you expect? You really think that a team like Tottenham, Liverpool, Man United, Chelsea, Arsenal even got a challenge? I don't think so. I think City is going to constantly buy more players to try and win the Premier League, to try and win everything in Europe. And yet I think City have just caught this. I don't know why. I just had that funny feeling in my stomach that I think they will win this season's Premier League. I don't see why not. They've got one of the greatest squads in the world. They've got such quality and depth in every position. They got Aguero, they got Gabriel Jesus, Mahrez, also they've recently brought in Ferran Torres, it was Sterling, they got Bernardo Silva. Like, they just got such a great squad, and it doesn't, like, it wouldn't make sense for them to not miss out on the Premier League title this season. If they don't win the Premier League this season with that squad, with the amount of money they spend, I'm going to be stunned. I mean, I'd love to see Tottenham win it. I'd love to see Liverpool maybe retain the title. Hell, I'd love to see Chelsea or Man United win it. But I think City are going to wrap it up again. I think they're probably going to break their record point tally. I think they will do it. I mean, it's Man City. I mean, what else do you expect from them? But yeah, I see Man City winning the Premier League this season. So, yeah. Okay, guys, that is going to be the end of today's video. That's going to be the end of my predictions video. I hope you enjoyed. And if you did, make sure you smash the like button. Let's see about 2,020 likes for the 2020-21 season. Much appreciated. Anyway, guys, I'm out. Peace. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Wish we could turn back time to the good old days.